Hello, it's me, Terry Lynn. How are you? Um, let's go over a few things. Yes, it's true. When I was 16, 17, I was having 15, 16, something like that. I was having visions. I meant to marry a man and do ministry. Um, my parents divorced about the same time, right after I started having the visions. Um, some of the Italian families in South Philly were very upset what happened to me and my family. The priests are not recognizing adulterous marriages. People that are divorced and remarried, they're not accepting them, which is a good thing, but there needs to be explanation of what has been going on. Yeah. Send letters up to the governor and mayors and get them to contact President Obama regarding the high adultery rate and what we're going to do about the nation. All right? All right. Start praying for alcoholic families and things like that. Okay? All right, thanks. Bye. Um, what we're going to do is we're going to have to pray, okay? Because Jesus said if you want to go to heaven, don't commit adultery. A lot of people had husbands or wives that cheated on them or this or that. And we used to have government controlling the families where there wasn't so much divorce and adultery. In other words, um, men who were drinking would be ushered home to make sure they didn't get in trouble. Prostitutes were thrown out of the town or prayed for to be converted. Things like that. Women did not divorce their husbands. Men really did not divorce. It wasn't even really rare. It was rarely spoken of. Today, people just call a lawyer, file for divorce, and things like that. If somebody was raped and this and that, hard criminal charges were brought up and things like that. Um, so I have some people in South Philly, some Italians that have compassion. They know Stampers men used to get haircuts and get manicures at my house. My parents had 5 children. They used to respect my dad a lot. My parents were strong Catholics, Christians. My mother would make wedding cookie trays for people who were getting married. And my dad would help dress people. He was best dressed in his high school. Um, and his family had a restaurant. They used to do weddings and stuff. And they were very holy people, praying Our Father, 10 Commandments, Stampers men, Vince Filippelli, and people would come in, one of the bodyguards. We didn't know too much what they were doing with mafia. They just liked that my mother could speak Italian. They would bring Italian people. We didn't really know they were mafia, but Frankie Avalon's parents came for dinner. They were personal friends of ours. Um, Italian village people, Pensacola and Mart, stuff like that, were friends with us. Cadillac owners. Um, and I was attending Cinnamons in high school. And when I was going on retreats with Sacred Heart in Riverton as a young girl Catholic. I made my confirmation and Holy Communion there. And then I started having the visions. And then when my parents got separated and divorced, it was horrible. I got very lost with it all. I was the oldest out of 5 children. I was brokenhearted. It affected me more than the rest of my brothers and sisters because when they split up, I had to be like the mother. And my dad was so depressed, and it was just a lot of trouble. And I kept going to rescue my mother and try to bring her back, and this and that was horrible. There were a lot of men trying to go with my dad, and then there were women trying to go. Men trying to go with my mom, and then women trying to go with my dad. And my parents knew. They were like, "Leave us alone. We're trying to straighten out our marriage." Not enough people were helping. And while I was having visions, my parents should have been focusing on me getting married. I'm having visions and about a ministry. Well, I later saw how bad the churches were. But I figure South Philly, they might pray and say, okay, let's go get Teresa and Larry and let's pray with them and put them back together. I don't know what South Philly's going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do.